So how long were you in the crematorium for?
Couple years.
Couple years.
Then I kitchen work, so I've cooked food. Not like
Right, not
at the same
for
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd hope not.
Yeah. It's the same mechanism, right? Heat, but different intention.
Right.
So, yeah.
I understand.
For some people, I guess there are.
Considered that maybe you would just love ovens.
Wouldn't that be the whole thing? This whole thing?
Yeah.
This whole time I'm thinking,
You're like,
I
I
love
need
the
to
death
get into
industry.
death. Yeah.
But it's the ovens.
Just love the ovens.
It's just
I'm Alex Velluto. Besides being a stand-up comedian, I'm a fan of social experiments and lunch. Every few weeks, I post an ad on Craigslist offering a free lunch to whatever random stranger shows up. What could go wrong? Sharing a meal with a stranger can either be a really fun hang or a truly weird experience.
It's probably the best explanation of me as a person. I wear dead animals on my butt.
People say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, I say pull up a chair and find out. Come hungry, I'm buying. Welcome to Free Lunch. We are at Wedge Pizza in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm here with Josh.
Yes, that's me.
Yep, he's getting a free lunch. Thanks for coming out, Josh.
Not a problem.
So I met you on Craigslist.
Yes.
And
where all meaningful relationships begin.
That's right. What were you doing on Craigslist?
I do browse Craigslist for things like this. I think, experience is pretty amazing. You only get to live life once. So finding these little one-off things that normally I wouldn't do. I mean, obviously, if it weren't safe, I wouldn't be here. There's some where it's like, let me hug you and I'll pay you. And I'm not going to respond to that
There's
one.
people that do that?
It was that, and then there was one about tickling I saw once. I'm like, geez, man, people do anything. Hey, but whatever people like, I guess.
I don't know. I kind of want to interview a tickler now. What section of Craigslist is the tickling on?
Gigs.
Gigs?
Yeah. You should reach out tickler for an interview on gigs. I'm sure you will get someone.
I need to find a professional tickler.
Yeah.
So you told me over text you're a neuroscientist.
Well, yes, neuroscience. I work in brain research and neuroscience, neuropsych, all that kind of stuff.
But you don't want to be called a scientist? Is that what it is?
No, I don't have the qualifications.
You don't have the what? You need
it's a doctorate to be a scientist. I guess I'm a amateur scientist. You could say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So thinking about as far as past life regression on a neuroscience-based level, I don't know. I don't know how that path would get together. You could say something about the soul or whatever energy, but I don't know if any of that's in the tissue past experiences. Unless it's coming from the ether.
Well, it's all electrical, isn't it? All
Yeah.
electrical signals.
Yeah, it is. So I'm wondering if maybe we're like transmitting, this globally universal energy, and we're, conductors. And they're like, oh, that's me. I used to be, and now I'm gonna act like that. I don't know. It's interesting to think about.
I can get behind that.
I think I just proved it.
Yeah.
All this coming in, and that's who I am.
Yeah,
I think
there
we
you
go.
go.
I'm gonna write an article. It's gonna be peer reviewed and published.
Yeah. How hard do you think that would be to get peer reviewed?
Oh, impossible. Next to impossible.
You gotta find some kooks.
Yeah.
Aren't there there's pseudo people? What's like the chiropractor version of a neuroscientist?
A life coach. No, I'm kidding. Luckily in my former life, I was quite the asshole. So it was easy to pull off.
How do you know that?
How do I know?
How do you know you were an asshole in your previous life?
Oh, geez, the mistakes I've made, people I've
You can just kind of
pissed
tell.
off. Yeah, I know it deep within.
I'm too busy criticizing the one that I am now to like go back in time and figure out if I was a jerk back then. Who do you think you were in a past life?
Who do I think I was?
What kind of person?
I think I was probably a peasant of some sort in a past life. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm all that
Just a real
built up
jerk.
rage,
Yeah.
from my past life. And now
Uh-huh.
I finally have some legs to stand
Uh-huh.
on. I was just like, everybody's going to have it now.
Are you moving up the caste system each life that you have, do you think?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think slowly but surely I'm moving up.
What's your goals for the next life?
For the next life, I think I want to, maybe, I don't know if this isn't caste related, but I think coming back as a cat would be pretty cool. I mean, they were revered in Egypt.
That's true. Maybe
So-
that's why you feel like you're an asshole in a previous life, because you were already a cat.
Maybe I was. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, look at this. I don't know if the viewers can see this.
The viewers don't need to see it. We need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know where it comes from, though. And
Josh, you said you're a fan of cheese pizza.
cheese pizza. Thank you. Yeah, cheese pizza. I feel like if a place can knock cheese pizza out of the park, I would say the rest of their pizza's pretty good.
All right, so this is like the barometer.
Yeah.
Here we go. You
Alright.
get first slice.
I get first slice.
You're the guest. What criteria are you looking for in a good cheese pizza?
I'm looking for how savory it is. Some sauces are really sweet. This is a nice savory, it's not too salty sauce. The crust is kind of soft on the bottom.
I don't know if it's wood oven, but it's good. It's not totally flaccid, but it's got a good amount of
Yeah.
stiffness to it.
Yeah, it's
You
it's
definitely
a
have to-
failing prostate kind of crust.
I don't know if this is a violation of HIPAA laws, but you said that you're waiting on a call to get a brain donation
Yes.
right now. So he might have to take a call. But tell me about, is that pretty common for what you do? Is you get brain donations?
It can be, yeah. So part of our study is looking at we're looking at brain regions, sizes of brain regions, impact of ICU stays on the brain. That's what we're researching. And also, patients that survive the ICU, what does their cognition look like? Is their memory worse? Is their thinking worse? Does it get better the further they're away
They
from the
survive
ICU?
the ICU?
If they survive, yeah.
But
So,
then you've got the brain.
well, that's if they obviously.
Oh, after they survived, but then died.
Or if they've consented, we can get the brain no matter how long after the ICU. But if they
Okay.
die in the ICU, as long as they've signed that or they've consented, we can get the brain at
Mhm.
any time point.
Do you get that signature while they're in the ICU?
There's certain forms we have signed
Uh-huh.
in the ICU that the patient signs, and then some, if they weren't able to cognitively sign, they were never capable, the family
Just
can
kind of
sign.
move their hand.
Yeah, we force them to. No,
Yeah.
we don't do that. We don't do that. But no, then if they can't, we wait for time of death, and then we ask the family member.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How's that conversation go? Like, I don't mean to be weird, but
Yeah, I don't.
can what are you planning on doing with that brain they've got?
That brain that is no longer needed for that person, but for other people, it's very much needed. It depends. Sometimes people are, their family member, they see it coming,
Uh-huh.
they understand, they know, they're going, yeah, please. Some people, it's they're a little emotional. Of course, their loved one just died. Some people, I ask, and they're just like, Josh, I'm just gonna go ahead and say no to that. So there's a range.
Are you in charge of the conversation then?
Yeah, I have those conversations.
Oh, wow. So you just do you go to the hospital and kind of hang out and wait for people to pass on?
I'm not like lurching or anything, but I do. I work in the hospital there.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll meet with these people, or I'll meet with the family member.
Mm-hmm.
And if I've never met them, say they get enrolled and then they die and I've never met them,
Yeah.
I'm still the one calling. So
Uh-huh. That's cool. I do think that's good. I might do that.
donate your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
don't know if
no,
they'd take it. It might be rotten or something.
if you have some, former cognitive impairment, they may
Oh,
not
I
want it.
do.
Well, it depends on the study.
Mm.
Some studies are like, oh, your brain's f***ed up. We want that to look at, So so yeah, the conversations can range.
Mhm.
And I came to this job from I worked at the ME's office. I did autopsies for years, and then I did funeral home work. So I've done a lot of working with death.
Oh,
So
wow.
very dark humor.
That's good. I
Yeah.
down with that. How did how did you get into the death business? Like,
Mhm.
when did you decide you wanted to do that?
So when I was 20, I watched 6 Feet Under on HBO, and I
Mhm.
went, I want to do that. And I went to the funeral home back home in Vero Beach, Florida.
Mhm.
I walked in without any previous experience and went, I want to work here. And then like a week later, they needed someone, and that's how it started. I worked.
Uh-huh.
I did removals, picking up bodies from taking them out of tiny ass bathrooms, behind toilets, in bathtubs, on floors where you have to walk them down flights of stairs. Ruined my back at an early age doing that.
That's how you earn your chops in the funeral business, though, right? You
It
gotta
is.
move the bodies. Is
I
that
was,
the bottom level?
I think so, because I was first call, and first call means you go out on house calls or hospital nursing home calls.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on first call. I went on all the calls all the time because I was the new guy. So that was, yeah, you're right. That was
Dang.
my hazing, I guess.
Okay, this may be insensitive, but were there
Right
any removals you had to do that required 2, maybe 3 people?
Yes. So first call means it's a house call, means you need someone else. Second call is you're the backup for first call if it's a house call.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there were any house call, we would always take 2 people
Oh, I
because,
see.
but in, at a hospital or whatever, you can just,
I'm talking like fatness-wise,
oh
but
no, I get it.
yeah. So what's the next step up after body removal?
Then you start helping with embalming. So I started doing embalming, helping in the prep room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left that funeral home. I moved to another funeral home, and I started running the crematory there. And that was, and I still did removals on top of that. But running a crematory, for what it's worth, at least the one I worked at, was pretty low stress, Well, there was an occasional time where you'd go to put the body in, and the board would kind of bend, and the body would catch. Then the foot of the board caught on fire, and you're like, oh, shit. So you were like rushing to like shove the person in. That's about as stressful as it gets. Yeah.
So that's as bad as it went, was just the foot catching on
Yes.
the foot of the board.
Or the whole crematory could catch on fire, but I never experienced that. That has happened. And that usually happens if you put in like a really big person after you've been cremating all day, because that fat catches on fire so quick, spikes the temperature in the retort. Could be bad news. Yeah. And
What's the
retort
retort?
is the crematory, the thing that you get
Oh,
burned
the
in.
big oven.
Yeah. The oven.
So,
yeah.
so
Better
fat,
word, not thing.
yeah,
Oven.
fat people burn hotter than
Person oven. Yeah.
Yeah, person.
That's where
What
the pizzas were.
model did you? Yeah, geez, you're trying to really ruin this pizza for me. First, it's a prostate. Now it was cooked in a crematory oven.
That's a common theme for me, unfortunately. I forget that, like, where I've
You
been.
can have the pizza, dude.
I'm
If
just
you
trying to
want
talk me
more
out
of the pizza, you can just have it.
It's a common theme. I'll find that I'm just talking about absolutely ghastly, grotesque, like over food, and people are like, "Come on, man!" I'm like, I forget,
I love it.
I would forget
I
because
think it's fun.
there's been times where in the prep or doing autopsies, I'm not eating in the morgue, but the morgue door has a glass window, and I'm sitting there just kind of like scarfing my lunch down, like seeing where people are in their cases, and then just walking in. Yeah. So I totally forget that
Are
is
you
actually
able to
gross
do
to
that
people.
from the beginning? Be able to eat lunch at the
Not at the beginning, no.
not at
That
the
was an
beginning?
acquired thing.
Uh-huh.
That's the next level from
Yeah.
running a
you
crematory is
just
being able to eat lunch, watching it all the
you
time.
just get so desensitized. You're just snacking on some bugles while they're
Putting them on my fingers and just eating them off as a
Yeah, exactly. Dang. So how long were you in the crematorium for?
couple years.
Couple years.
Then I did kitchen work, so I've cooked people, cooked food. Not like
Right. Not
at the same
for
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd hope not.
yeah. It's the same mechanism, right? Heat, but
Uh-huh.
different intention.
Right.
So yeah,
I understand.
for some people, I guess
You
there are
considered that maybe you
cannibals out
would just love ovens.
there. Wouldn't that be the whole thing? This whole thing.
Yeah.
This whole time, I'm thinking,
You're like,
I
I
love
need
the
to
death
get into
industry.
death. Yeah.
but it's the ovens.
Just love the ovens.
It's just
dude. I heard the story of someone working at a crematory that they just were kind of sloppy and they would give just whatever ashes to whoever.
Mhm.
Is there a way to verify that or just like honor system?
It's kind of honor system. It is
Okay.
because I
They
mean,
can't tell from smell or whatever.
like, and there's no more
Smells
DNA
like
left.
peatah.
Yeah, that smells like when he used to wear, but there's no DNA left, so you can't tell.
Hmm.
There has been, I don't know if you've listened to the podcast. I think it's called Noble, about this incident in Noble, Georgia, about a crematory operator who was not cremating bodies, giving people just like cement, just mixing ashes
Yeah, I
up.
think that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah. Is he the worst crematory person that you know of in the crematory world?
That I know of,
That you
yes.
know of?
That I know of.
What's his name?
I can't remember what his
Okay.
name is,
So
but
he's not like notorious and with
no,
amongst the crematory friends that you have.
no. He would choose to let him just remain nameless.
Okay.
No, but we've tried. I say we, like I still do it, but you try your best to get as much out as you can, but you can't get like the fine things out. You can try. You try your hardest.
Right.
But sometimes there is some other people mixed in with other people's ashes, but it's not like, oh, I forgot that femur in there. We're just going to shove it in this guy's bag now. No, you don't do that. It's more the like minute little
Put it
thing.
in with the person that you and just like a surprise inside, like a cereal box
Yeah,
type
just
situation.
so when they dig in,
Or
they're
that,
like,
oh, there's a whole bone.
with a note wrapped around it.
Yeah.
This
So
isn't.
with the bigger people, is it like a double urn situation?
No, they typically fit in
Just
one.
big
It's
urn?
just you got to think that's all tissue, so all that will burn away.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
So
left.
everyone's about the same size when you burn them.
Yeah, we're all the same inside.
That's nice.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
It's a nice thought.
Pet peeves, what are your pet peeves?
Shopping cart and a self checkout line.
You don't like a self-checkout?
No, I like a self checkout.
Uh-huh.
But when people have a cart full of groceries,
Mhm.
go to a self checkout line,
Oh, that's not cool.
and then they proceed to just scan. Like,
Dude,
come on,
I know.
man.
I used to work in a grocery store, and I never made it to cashier, but I always fancied myself a grocery professional. And when people bring their unprofessional attitude to the self-checkout, just taking their time, because I didn't make that rank, and it was all about speed and efficiency. And you can't be expected to be your own cashier and bringing this slow-ass attitude to the self-checkout.
There's people, and especially when there's only, like at Kroger, these Krogers, there's, like 15 of them. And that's a little more manageable, but the Publix here on the east side has 3 self-checkout lanes. And there's people, I'm like, come on, man. Like, read the room, situational awareness, step outside. But as you can tell, it's a pet peeve.
Yeah, dude, I hate that so much. I hate at self-checkout, there'll be like 2 lines, right? Or 3, and I'll line up at the front. That's the
Right in the
line.
middle, right?
That's the line for all of the self-checkouts.
Right.
Right. Sometimes people will be like, no, I'm forming my own line for this side. of the self-checkout,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to beat them to death. That is, you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the self-checkout line is there because it is convenient. And to keep that convenience and flow, one line, so when one opens up, because you don't know which one, right?
Yeah.
Then you just go to the next open one. Then the person behind you, they go to the next open one.
They're going to get there quicker if they follow my system.
Exactly.
Instead of trying to go rogue, forming your own line.
We should open a grocery store.
We should. I
Just
think
rule
would
it
be
with a
great.
dictatorship.
Yeah.
And
Lots of ovens and baked goods that you don't know.
lots of starving people if they mess up in line, just
Yeah. That'd be cool. They should have a bouncer at self-checkout. Be like, no, you need to go see a person. I get sad about the old people at self-checkout. They should be with because I'd help those people at the grocery store, help them out to their cart. They can't be left on their own,
no.
Their fingers kind of,
They're all,
they can't push the screen.
see, there are exceptions.
Yeah.
Exactly. If some elderly person gets up and just wander up and they start doing it, okay, I'm good. Like, you take your time, man. You've made it long enough to deserve that.
That's a good attitude to have. I don't have that attitude.
It's-
I am the most mad at whoever's in front of me in line, and it's usually an old person. So I get very mad at old people very often. That I should probably cool it on that. But
yeah, I hate waiting in line.
you're an empathetic person apparently, which it's good that the
Slowly
work
but surely
business
you get there.
hasn't beaten that out of you.
No. I think it's kind of made it a little, it might have reinforced it.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seeing, especially at the ME's office, you see all deaths there, natural, traumatic,
Mm.
whatever. And just seeing that and just going, man, everybody, all ages, one way or another, they may end up here.
Yeah.
So
Death happens to us all.
it does.
Let's end it there.
Perfect.